We start at 6 with breaking news. The sun has set over Mount Hood, where a plane has crashed into the side of the mountain. And in the last 30 minutes, we got confirmation this plane belongs to a battleground man who went missing after taking off from Camas last Friday.
Deputies confirming this to us. The pilot, 63-year-old George Regis, is dead. The video here taken before sundown. You can clearly see the wreckage in the Elliott Glacier area on the north side of Mount Hood.
Let's go to KGW's Mike Benner. He's on the mountain. He joins us on the phone. We hope this wasn't going to be the case, Mike, but such sad news for Regis's family and friends.
Well, Laurel, a horribly tragic end to a story we've been following since yesterday. As you mentioned, we learned just yesterday that a man by the name of George Regis took off from an airport in Camas on Friday and hadn't been heard or seen since. Just this afternoon, we understand that sheriff's deputies were made aware of a new flight plan that may have taken George Regis around the Mount Hood area. They started a search, and around 3:15 to 3:30, a civil air patrol spotted a plane. They confirmed the tail number matched that of George Regis's small aircraft, and then just a few minutes later, they confirmed that somebody was dead inside or near that plane. So, again, just a tragic ending to a story we've been following since yesterday. We just arrived up here at Cooper Spur. This was kind of the command center for the last few hours, but the scene has since been cleared, and authorities will return tomorrow morning to begin what I can only imagine is a difficult task of recovering Mr. Regis's remains and moving the plane off the mountain.
Our deepest sympathies to his family and friends tonight. Thank you, Mike Benner at Cooper Spur, and we'll check back with Mike later on. In other news, the Washington measles emergency is spreading across the ocean now. On top of 36 cases in Clark County, we've now learned of 2 infected children in Hawaii who traveled from Washington. And an infected person visited Bend the other week, possibly exposing unvaccinated people there. So we've seen more and more people. It's been slowly growing, the number of cases here. Doctors say this slow uptick in the number of cases is normal. It's rare for strangers in public places to catch this virus. It's typically spread, they say, between unvaccinated family members and people who are very close to an infected patient. And we have been hearing from a lot of you who have questions about the measles. KGW's Nina Melhoff is here with some quick answers. Nina?
Yeah, we have a lot of great questions from people. The number one question probably is, I have had the vaccine. Can I get the measles? And the answer is no. If you've had that first shot, you are 93 to 95% immune. If you've had both shots, you're 97 to 100% immune. You cannot get it. You cannot spread it, even if you've been at one of these exposure locations, even if you've been around affected people. So same with your kids. Number 2, I had the measles. Can I get it again? The short answer, no. If you had a real case of the measles, you are now immune for life. There is no chance. This is a one and done. A lot of folks had it when they were kids. Okay, number 3, people were vaccinated decades ago, maybe back in the 60s. Am I still good? Yes. Once you have had the vaccine, you're good to go. You will not get it. If you are really worried about it, just go ahead and get another measles, mumps, and rubella shot. There is never a too late time to get one. Okay, what about if you just really can't remember? Your parents aren't around to tell you if you were vaccinated as a child. What should you do if you can't remember? Well, if you really don't have any documentation, just go ahead and get another of those MMR shots. You can ask for them at your doctor's office or any pharmacy. They will give them to you. Again, it's never too late, and you can always get another one. Okay, so this is a big question for a lot of parents. How at risk are babies under 1 year old who can't get the vaccine yet? And this one's kind of tricky. So doctors say be careful exposing them to large crowds or very busy places. But because measles is so rare, you're probably fine, because babies can't get their first shot until they're 1 year old. If you really want to get it, or you're going to be traveling, you can give your baby the shot at 6 months old. They'll still need that 12-month-old shot, and then again their second one at 4 to 6 years old. Okay, how soon after the shot are you immune? This is an easy one. 2 weeks later, that's it. It's that fast. Next question. I had the shot, but a test now shows I have low immunity. Am I safe? Doctors today say yes. If you know you've had the shot, you are immune. Don't trust those immunity tests. A lot of the times they are wrong and they can give you false results. If you've had the vaccine, that means you're safe, not an immunity test. If you're really worried about it, just get another shot. Okay, is it safe to go to the locations on the exposure list? We've been hearing about OMSI, the Moda Center, the airport. Yes. Those dates and times have long passed. The measles are not still in the air. If you're vaccinated, you're always good to go, even if you were there when the infected person was. So go ahead and do your normal routine if you have your shots. Okay, last question. I think this really kind of puts it in perspective. What's deadlier, the flu or the measles? The answer is the flu. 80,000 Americans died of the flu in 2017. In the past 18 years, only 11 people have died of the measles. And the measles, it's a one-time vaccine. You're good for life. The flu, of course, every year we have to remember to get our flu shot, and it's not always effective. Today, we did a great Facebook Live interview with the director of the Multnomah County Public Health Department. She has all of these answers and many more on our website. You can read a lot more, too, at kgw.com. Guys, back to you.
So still a good idea to get your flu shot, too. Nina, thank you for that important information. The search is on tonight in Longview for a man who tried to grab a 12-year-old yesterday on her way to school. Michaela's mom says her daughter was walking with a friend to her bus stop. This happened on 14th Avenue and Baltimore Street. That's when they saw a man running toward them down an alley. The man, they say, came at Michaela, grabbed the front of her shirt and slammed her against a vehicle. Michaela's friend had to jump in and help her escape.
She had ran up and started pulling on her to get her away from the guy while Michaela was trying to kick him.
Michaela is understandably shaken up, but physically okay. Her mom is now trying to see if she can change the bus stop location to a place that's not quite so dark that early in the morning. Longview police want to hear from you if you know anything about what happened. We found out about this through a post on Facebook. If you have a story idea, you can submit it to us on our website. Email us at newstips@kgw.com or just find us on social media.
An ongoing problem on the softball field at Clark College has finally hit a breaking point. A softball player alerted KGW to vandalism, trash, there's graffiti out there. See, players are dealing with this sort of thing every day.
KGW's Devin Haskins went to Clark College today and spoke with players about how frustrated they are with all of this.
When a student athlete gets a scholarship to play sports at a higher level, they expect nothing but the best.
Oh yeah, it's quite the experience.
Except she isn't talking about the softball experience.
It's definitely been a big issue.
No, they're talking about the homeless that have taken up residence in the outfield, the dugout, and all around. Then there's the vandalism.
You can see here it's completely destroyed.
Monday before practice, players noticed their batting cage knocked over and destroyed.
None of these holes were here originally. There's one right here.
It'll cost around $5,000 to replace, something this small college doesn't have.
Right there. It's just amazing.
In the dugout, the words "Find Me" written on the benches.
Right here it says 420.
During the summer, this building, the annex, was broken into. Someone had been living inside it. And then there's the disgusting parts.
We've had to clean up human feces off the back of our dugout. We found needles.
The players say their coach has now set rules, no less than 3 at a time to use the bathroom. Security gets called before every practice to walk the grounds, and the coaches are the last to leave. The players say everything that's happening makes them feel unsafe.
It's very frustrating, and you want this to be like a safe environment, not just for the players, but also for like the fans too.
It's kind of scary, you know, being a female athlete, coming out here, you know, to do something you love, and then having to constantly be on the watch, you know, be ready. I mean, we all carry pepper spray.
Clark College says they're trying their best to deal with these problems. They're aware of them. They've called police, and they say they're addressing the situation. In fact, today they tell me that they're going to hire a new security guard that'll focus solely on these athletic fields. At Clark College in Vancouver, Devin Haskins, KGW News.
Some Portland Public School Board members already reconsidering an agreement they just made to boost police presence in schools. You may remember last month the school board approved an agreement with the city of Portland to have resource officers work 5 days a week instead of 3. And the schools agreed also to foot the bill for this instead of the Portland Police Bureau. Some students and teachers, they protested the agreement. They criticized the cost, too, of $1.2 million a year. Others just didn't like the idea of having more armed officers in the buildings. Tonight, the school board is discussing a plan to put this agreement on hold. So we wanted to ask you tonight in our KGW viewer voice poll, do you think police should have a bigger presence in school? Yes or no? You can vote at kgw.com/vote or go on the KGW app. Just click on the Vote Now tile. The results are going to be coming up a little later in the newscast.
You've seen the headlines plastered all over social media. The FaceTime feature on iPhones lets people eavesdrop on your conversations. But is that really true?
Let's bring in KGW's Chris Willis. He's here to verify what you need to know about this major iPhone bug. I saw Chris. It was scary right away. I was like, what is this?
A lot of people had that reaction. It's being called the most problematic iPhone bug ever. It allowed FaceTime callers to eavesdrop conversations in group chats. All right, here's an example. Let's say, for example, I FaceTime one of my sons and then added another person to the call before my son answered. I would be able to hear whatever my son is doing without him even answering the phone or realizing his call had been picked up. All he would see is the option to answer the call. All the while, though, I can hear him. The bug was publicized Monday, and Apple has already disabled group FaceTime. We tried to replicate the test in the newsroom earlier today. Luckily, we had no luck. So now we can verify Apple has disabled the group FaceTime feature, and no one should be able to eavesdrop on your conversations anymore. But if you're like me, just want to be extra cautious, you should disable FaceTime on your iPhone, iPad, or MacBook. Let's do it together, all right? For your iPhone or iPad, you go into the settings bug. You see it right there. And then on the left side, scroll all the way down until you see your FaceTime. Click on that, and in the upper right-hand corner, all you got to do is slide that button off. You should be good to go. On your Mac, make sure to quit FaceTime completely. An iOS update to fix the bug is now in the works. And guys, listen to this. The bug was actually discovered by a 14-year-old Arizona boy earlier this month who tried to FaceTime his friends to play Fortnite. So you got a billion-dollar company with some of the smartest technological minds on the entire planet. 14-year-old in his room playing Fortnite figured it out.
Thank God.
I know, right?
For video games and teenagers.
This one is scary, yeah.
I have a feeling somebody will be calling him for a job.
Right, exactly.
Thank you, Chris. Yeah. Well, if you want to see something verified you want us to verify, reach out and let us know about it at verify@kgw.com.
Call us. Don't FaceTime us, all right? Coming up, if you saw a headline that said Mount St. Helens is about to erupt, well, we're here to tell you that you shouldn't believe it. How the government shutdown helped those fake headlines to spread. Plus,
the gloves seem not to be doing anything.
If you want to go somewhere warmer, maybe try Antarctica. The coldest temperatures in a generation take over the Midwest. Why even breathing outside is being discouraged.
That's rough.
Yeah, it's pretty rough back there. We, on the other hand, really mild. Great sunset still, the last little bit of that out of Newport, where it's still hanging on to 50 degrees. Now, we've got one more really beautiful day on the way tomorrow, and then changes come. First the rain, then it's going to get colder. Not back east cold, but colder.